When it comes to these Knicks, we updating, we upgrading, huh? And we talked about it. Big dog. Jeremy Sohan apparently has signed with the New York Knicks. And he's here to say a thing or two about, what's going down. How the fuck do I press play? I think I fucked up, y'all.
That fucking liquor.
No, not even. I'm just trying to press play. What the fuck?
Come on.
Nah, this is crazy. I'm trying to press play.
Well, we move on to the next thing.
Don't do that.
Come on, man. Killed. Yeah, man. What happened?
I don't fucking know. I try to press play, but shit happens. Oh, I fucked that up. Wow.
Yeah. It ain't nothing wrong with the video. It's right. Ain't a damn thing wrong with the video. Ain't nothing wrong.
But why would you say it's Ray like that?
Because hold you
Ray.
accountable. I don't talk.
It's Ray. Ian Begley breaking down the latest Knicks acquisition, big dog style.
Knicks taking care of a little business ahead of All-Star Weekend, signing Jeremy Sohan, player who was released by San Antonio, a 22-year-old with what the Knicks see as defensive versatility, upside, player who can handle the ball. And this is a significant addition for New York because this was a player that the Knicks targeted at the trade deadline. They had some conversations with San Antonio about Gershon Yabusele, Sohan deal. I don't think those talks got very far. But now here you pivot a few days later, Knicks able to bring Sohan in on a veterans minimum deal for the rest of the season. And really, you go back to Yabusele in terms of how they got here because Gershon Yabusele chose to waive that second-year player option. That's what facilitated the deal to Chicago. And then Dalen Terry, the player that the Knicks were able to get back, they sent to New Orleans. That helped facilitate the deal to get Jose Alvarado. And in these deals, they were able to shed some salary, both of these trades, and they were able to shed enough salary to the point where they could add a player at Sohan's number off of the waiver wire. And so this was a tidy piece of business for the Knicks, essentially getting Jose Alvarado and Jeremy Sohan at the deadline with all the maneuvering they did around the margins, particularly with Sohan's case. And they feel like now they have 15 players under standard NBA contracts that they feel comfortable playing. And that's big to me, at least, because, you're going to deal with injuries, minor injuries, tweaks, whatever, over the course of the rest of this season and also maybe postseason. And so you want players who you feel comfortable with, confident in putting them on the floor. And the Knicks believe, according to sources, that they have that now that they've added Sohan. It's going to be interesting to see where he fits into Mike Brown's rotation. I assume if everybody's healthy that he would be out of the rotation, but we'll see. I mean, again, a lot of teams had interest in Sohan. He came to New York for a reason. So I would assume that, he's not going to just ride the bench for the rest of the year. Interesting pickup for New York. Again, getting a player in Sohan that they feel comfortable throwing out there on the court in circumstances that would welcome it, that would necessitate it. So nice pickup for New York, ending their trade deadline with a 22-year-old, again, defensive versatility, upside as they head into this All-Star break, and they will get back on the floor next Thursday against the Detroit Pistons at Madison Square Garden.
Against them Pistons. Huh? Against them Pistons, old boy. Huh? What we looking like? Huh? What we talking about now?
Great
pickup. Boy, how we feel? That's how you feeling? Great pickup. Talk about it.
Great pickup. Just what the doctor ordered. I think we about to have another fan favorite. I think the Garden, the fans, us, we're gonna love him. Like Alvarado, the energy. And he's something we needed desperately. Another wing that can defend. He's about 6'8", maybe 6'9", but I'll say 6'8". So that's a rebounder. He brings some toughness, a little edge, hustle, just for me, you know, we are too small, right? We have a lot of guards, and we've been saying for how long we need another wing defender, another guy that can defend, a guy that can bring some energy off the bench. So for me, I don't understand how we could not like the move. It just goes to show you the front office may know what they're doing. Yeah, I was upset we didn't get Giannis because we thought Giannis wanted to be here, right? But the front office, listen, they held it down, and they made two great moves, I think. Getting Alvarado, knowing that Deuce is out for the season, and he may be out for the playoffs, right? So you get a guy like that, and then now, you know, you get a 6'8" wing guy that can defend. So now I would love when, you know, he's on the floor with Mitch and Alvarado and OG and listen, today's NBA, we seen what the Pacers did in the playoffs, right? We see what OKC is doing as far as being able to have 10 to 15 deep, right? So I love this move. We talked about it the other day. We've been talking about how many Knicks rehabs now saying we need some more size. We need some more height. We need some more dogs, right? We need some more attitude. We need some more physicality. And within a week, they bring us two of them. So I think, you know, he's going to be excited to be playing in Madison Square Garden. I think how Alvarado is exactly how he is. We are going to love him. And it's not going to be about his points. It's going to be about his effort. The guy that's going to dive on the floor, the guy that's going to go for every rebound, the guy that's not going to give up on the play, the guy that's not going to get punked. So I love the move. I love the move. Yeah. I don't know how we could not like the move and how we got him. Didn't have to give anything up. You know, everybody worry about our depth, right? That's all everybody talks about. If we go get this player, or we do this or do that, who we got to give up? We turn Yabusele into him in Alvarado. So that's how I look at it. Miss me what Yabusele is doing right now in Chicago. It ain't no pressure that I could do that in Chicago right now. Niggas ain't like, let's cut the jokes. So for me, you mind your business, Fleet. Yeah, I can do what Yabusele is doing right now.
I ain't saying a damn thing.
Motherfuckers being me the other day. Oh, man, get out of here with that shit. Chicago ain't got pressure to win no chip window, do nothing. So how I look at it before I go, we turn Yabusele into Sohan and Alvarado. If somebody can argue with that and be upset with that, then you're a bigger hater than me. And I'm the number one hater. So I love the move. And I think moving forward, especially in the playoffs, is going to help us out a lot because now we have backups for the backups. I love it. I love it.
Flea, we've been asking for something all year long, consistency. And I don't think we've had, you know, the addition of Alvarado is one thing. Josh Hart, Alvarado, and now Sohan. This is what we've been talking about. Flea, what are your thoughts? Because come on now, you the guy that's been saying, yo, man, new coach, new thoughts, new landscape. Now we got some guys who are player coaches, right? The coaches love these guys, Flea.
I'm not as high on Sohan as everybody else. Let me just be honest. I'm not exactly sure where he fits in our rotation and what we're doing, right? I'm talking about fit. I like that they have a pulse and they're always looking to upgrade. What we always talk about, trying to get better. Okay, you could rest on your laurels, but what are you doing to get better? So I'm glad that they are active, right? The Alvarado pickup is great, and it's the first 3 games he's played well, or 2 games. What has it been? 3 games, 2 games, whatever it is. He's looked good. He's brought us exactly what we need. And hey, can he shoot? Yes, I could shoot. So I like that. The nigga could shoot. But Sohan, I got to see where he fits because when we're fully healthy, where does Sohan fit? When Deuce is back and Mitch is in the full lineup and Alvarado's in the full line, and Diawara is getting minutes, like where does Sohan fit? So great pickup in terms of giving depth to our team. Great pickup in terms of another guy that you can take off the bench and actually knows how to play basketball It's not a guy that's a project. It's not a guy that you can't trust, right? Pop put this guy at the point guard position for an entire season.
Yeah.
An entire season. They weren't good, but he trusted the guy to be his primary ball handler and, increase his confidence. Now he could go around the league and, figure out a fit for him. Maybe the fit is here. Maybe the fit is somewhere else. But right now, he's 22 years old. You can't really judge the kid off the first 2 or 3 seasons. We'll see who he is by 25 years old. So I'm not very high on him, but it's not like he's a bum. He's going to come in and be like, oh, he's unplayable. We can't play this kid. He knows how to play basketball. And if anything, the kid is going to come in and defend. That's the role. And all we need is more and more defenders. We building. My man earlier, we was talking and he was basically saying throughout the season, I've just been entirely too temperamental about the Knicks. And my thought is, yeah, I've been a little temperamental because I didn't like the fact that we changed the coach at the beginning of the season. So I'm watching all of this. Go ahead, Ray.
What the hell does that mean? You have been entirely temperamental. What does that mean?
Meaning I'm not thinking about the long game. Meaning in the moment, I'm being too temperamental. That's who I am. I ain't a tempered nigga. That's who I am. Y'all know who I am now. That's who we all are when we come to this Knicks shit, right? They clown us because we too high, we too low, we over here, we over there. But at the end of the day, for the long game, you want to have depth going into the playoffs. Injuries happen at the wrong times. So you want to be able to have somebody that you could play in a playoff series, in a playoff game. So I like the move. I'm just not very high on Sohan.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? Before Fabian goes. You're the one up here that constantly preaches, defense, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you preach it a lot and you're 100% correct. So you just said we have a guy that can play defense, knowing that's what we lack drastically, right? So why not be, I don't want to say excited like me, but why not be a little excited that we have a guy that can defend when you preach defense and you know how bad we are defensively?
I just was asking, where is he going to play?
Okay.
Like, we were starving. Like, we turned Yabusele into Alvarado and Sohan. Great job, Leon Rose. But now, Mike Brown, we got the groceries for you. Here's the groceries. We dropped it off at the front door. What you going to do with it now? Figure this out. So if he's going to find a way to play the kids so we can see what we got, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we don't see what we got, what's the purpose of having him out there? So I'm just like, where does he fit? At the end of the day, he's going to get in the game. He's going to play defense. That's all I care about. Don't come in the game thinking that you're going to figure out a way to get FGAs. Play defense, get it off the rim, run, all the tough stuff, right? Be another glue guy. So
and that's what he is. I don't think he fell out of the rotation because of his skill set, his effort. None of that shit. We've been watching him from his rookie year. AllBall's a big time Pop critic. And Pop, obviously he's not the same Pop, man. God bless him and his family because he's going through a lot. You see where he's at. But the fact that we got a kid that came out of that system is a big deal. That's a big deal. Let's not forget John Starks was going up against Vernon Maxwell in the 90s. John Starks didn't get signed by the Spurs because it was him versus Vernon Maxwell. And Pop was like, we going to take Vernon. And he went with New York after that. Obviously undrafted, was bagging groceries. You heard the whole Bad Bunny story for John Starks. And Sohan was somebody that was just, he's clearly not LeBron and these guys. He's not going to be that. But the fact that he's an energy guy, another crowd booster, we need that. We need a guy who's going to mix it up, especially against any, the Pistons are going to be the number one threat in the East, apparently, right? We need the guy who's going to agitate these guys who are on the trigger all day long. That's what you need. He don't have any technical fouls. He didn't play. Go piss Isaiah Stewart off and get him his 14th technical foul, whatever it is. Jalen Durant, get him his 10th technical foul. That's kind of your role right now. That's a big part of your role. Aside from that, playing defense and this energy, a lot of what we were missing the last year and a half. Tom Thibodeau would love this guy. Tom Thibodeau would love Alvarado. Tom Thibodeau clearly loved Josh Hart. We were missing these guys over here on the Knicks, man. I love the pickup. I love the pickup. They were flirting with it for a trade, and you didn't have to trade for him. You picked him up in the buyout deal. That's amazing. You know, we see what we're handcuffed with the salary cap, and we saw Boston chop $600 million to $150 million. I don't even know how the fuck you do that, but they did it. And the Knicks were able to get Sohan, who's I think he's a number 1 first round draft pick. Big kid, and just being able to cover more than one position. We don't have that on the bench right now. I think we need that, and we're going to be able to see, you know, what this means to the New York Knicks. Mike Brown, again, is going to be on the clock. AllBall's been stressing it from the beginning of the year. Clear, of course, Flea from the moment they said that Tom Thibodeau was being fired. Let's not overlook that. He said this shit is going to be a hot mess. You got to get over the mess first, and then we'll get to this point where we can settle in and be who we think we're going to be. And Sohan, I think he punches in that personality for the New York Knicks. Something for everyone to watch. And I can't see it being a bad thing at this point. We don't have any defenders. Again, I don't think any of us are worried about offense. None of us are. Like, yo, go figure that out. Y'all gonna score 40, 50 points, however you divvy that up. But the defensive end is where we're all scared. Do we have another guy who's willing to defend 94 feet, which I've been stressing? He looks like it. He's 22 years old, like you said. I forgot he was 22. Yeah, that's crazy.
He's a young kid. He's a young kid for sure.
But Fleet,
he's just scratching the surface. He ain't even figured out. He probably ain't even figured out the NBA game yet. Right? He's just figuring out basketball.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.